And how much fun does this sound? Puppy raising with the Canadian Guide Dogs for the Blind. Sounds like so much fun indeed. Let's find out more right now with Barbara Ennis, who is joining us, and she is a puppy raising volunteer.
Yes, I am.
Nice to see you, and it's beautiful to have you here, but the star of the show.
I realize that.
Let's say hello to your friend.
This is Woody.
Hello, Woody.
Woody is a 14-month-old Labradoodle at the Canadian Guide Dogs. Here we go.
Wonderful.
And see what.
Hi, Woody. Okay. Canadian Guide Dogs for the Blind does so much for our community.
Yes, it does.
Tell us exactly what they do.
So what their mandate is to provide trained guide dogs to visually impaired people across Canada.
And they've been doing this for quite some time.
They're 35 years, the beginning of 2019, and they've had great success. They've been able to have just under 500, so 450 some dogs have been successfully trained through their program.
You've been a volunteer as well for some time.
I've volunteered with them for 5 years now.
Good work.
And so yes, it's quite enjoyable and very rewarding.
How long have you been a volunteer as a puppy raising?
So this is my second puppy that I've raised, and each time it's about an 18-month commitment that I'm giving to them.
Okay, so I was going to ask you that. I mean, how much time do you have to give up of your free time? So 18 months? 18
months, and my commitment is to have him with me 24/7, as much as he can be with me.
Okay.
There are certainly some exceptions when he hasn't been able to be with me, but anything I do throughout the city, whether I'm going to a restaurant or I'm going to the movie theater, pedicures, dentist, whatever, he is right there with me.
So you must have a gigantic heart and a special person, because it's got to be difficult at the end of that 18 months to sort of say goodbye.
So you have to sign a contract, and I always tease it, sign on the dotted line to have your heart broken. It's not something to be taken lightly or anything else. It's a contract. You do give the dog back at the end of their time, and it's sad.
So that being said, then what kind of person could handle a position like this?
So it's open to really anybody. If you're retired, if you're a stay-at-home parent, if you've got a self-employed business, post-secondary student would be fine. I myself still work full-time. I got the right permissions from my office that I'm able to take him into the office with me every day.
So no joke, 24/7?
No joke.
Wow, that just does seem like quite the commitment for 18 months. Okay, so you mentioned malls, like just about anywhere you go, Woody's coming with you.
So whatever, today would be a great example that we were into the office for a little bit, then I had an off-site meeting, he came with me. I went to the grocery store, he's beside me. Went home for lunch with me, over here for the taping of the show.
All of a sudden he's on television.
He's on television, and we still have to get to the bank today, just whatever you would normally do.
That's a full day for like a human being.
It is.
Okay, so tell us then some of the rewards. I mean, personally, if somebody's thinking about volunteering, I mean, what's in it for them? How do you feel about all this?
There's nothing better than walking down a mall and seeing a visually impaired person with a guide dog. You know that some part of what I have done here today has been able to allow them that right to do it. To see them get onto a bus, knowing that the training I've given and the teaching him how to get onto a bus has been beneficial when you see it in practice.
Where do the dogs come from, the puppies?
They come from the National Training Center is in Manotick, and they have their own breeding program, so the majority of their puppies are bred there.
Okay, so can I ask this then, once you're accepted, because you must have to fill out some kind of application.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you go through an application, and then you have to go in for an interview type of meeting with them, just to have everything completely explained to you, so there's no misunderstandings. And then they'll come over to your house and they do a site visit at the house to make sure everything is okay. And then you sit by the phone and you wait for the phone call.
So then do you get to choose your new friend?
No, you do not. Based on the information you've provided, they will bring the dog to you. You've got the right to refuse the dog, but once you see that puppy face and you know what you're in for,
I don't think too many dogs are refused.
I don't think so.
For sure. How many volunteers does it take in this whole program, just for this program in particular? Are there lots of people doing this?
There are lots of people. I know it goes across Canada that they have the one I can relate to is out in Ajax. I know that's where his brother is.
Does he ever take the day trips out to Ajax to say hi to his brother?
We absolutely went out to see Branson. We did, but it was a great training moment. He got to go in a car, he stayed in a hotel, he got to go to restaurants, and and as soon as he met Branson, the first thing they did was a big chest pump, and you knew they remembered each other.
That is amazing.
Stood around for 2 hours and watched them play in a backyard.
You had a good time, didn't you? Oh, yeah, I can tell he's very happy. Donations, obviously, really do fuel Canadian Guide Dogs for the Blind.
Absolutely, they do.
So important for people to make a donation to continue this?
It truly is. It's always appreciated. It can be done on their website, or there's also the Guider Dog program, the hard plastic dogs that you see out in the grocery stores, or sometimes the local malls have them there, and just drop your coins in and change in.
With 20 seconds left, with Woody and your dog before, what have you learned? What's the number one thing?
That you've got to make sure that you have patience, that you love them, and that you respect your dog in order to make them to be successful.
GuideDogs.ca. Thank you very much, Barbara. And of course, Woody.
Thank you very much.
What a great organization. I'm Dylan Black. We have much more coming up on Rogers TV. It's Daytime Ottawa. Thanks for being here.